Welcome, Rob Gamble. Thanks for coming over to the Tactical Take and sitting down with me and having a little chat. Riff Klitcher's here, your host. I've been thinking about this for a bit, and in all honesty, there's a lot of buzz around you and Hampton High School and just the hockey community as a whole. So I think this is probably a good time to have this chat.
No better time than the present.
No better time than the present. I like it. Rob Gamble, he's a member of the community, lives in Kingston Peninsula. Good old country boy. Good values, strong, hardworking man. I love your boys, both Billy and Harry. You say Billy is out potatoing right now? Is that what's going on?
Oh, we got to figure out if he's picking them today or tomorrow, but
Okay.
we got an order.
Okay. And when you say you have an order of potatoes, how many potatoes are we talking here?
50 pounds, keep the local stores going here right now.
Oh, sweet.
You know, weekends are usually 400 pounds.
Yeah. Now, do you sell what's called new potatoes?
Mosa.
What's it called?
Aramosa.
Aramosa?
Yeah.
Those are the fresh ones?
Those are the 68-day yield.
Nice. Well, you can tell me a little bit about potatoing after if you'd like. A little bit about Rob and his history. You did play some Bantam AAA hockey here in this area.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
West Sis. You had a stint with the provincial team, Team New Brunswick. Now, you mentioned you went, was this in Germany that Team New Brunswick went?
It was a 2-year tryout for the Canada Games team.
Okay.
So I was on the team pretty much till the last cut. We went to Germany in, I think, 93.
Yeah.
With Pat McLaughlin as a coach there. Kevin Pottle was the head coach. I think he coaches the junior Red Wings in Fredericton.
Okay.
Still to this day.
Long time.
Yeah.
So you had a stint there trying out for the Canada Winter Games. Interesting enough, the Canada Winter Games tryout is going on right now.
Yeah.
In Fredericton, they're in the dorms. They have 2 squads worth up there. They're putting in the work. They'll get an idea of how their roster's shaping up, make some more cuts. But I think the final decisions on that roster will be made a little later. I've heard that it's going to be over the winter sometime, closer to Christmas, before they make the final roster.
Yeah.
Interesting process that is, for sure.
Exciting, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. You go to U18. You're playing AAA U18 for the St. John Flames.
Yep.
And from that program, you end up drafted in the 3rd round, 69th overall, to the Beauport Hardings.
Beauport Harfangs.
Had that wrong.
That's
the Beauport Harfangs.
Yeah.
They are now the Quebec Remparts.
Yes.
Okay, so you spent some time in the queue.
A little bit
of time in the queue. You're a multi-sport guy, multi-sport athlete. You played a lot of volleyball all the way through your high school years into your adult years. You rugby guy at all?
Nope. Nope. But I played ball hockey. I played church league hockey. A lot of sports that I did, I played with adults.
Yeah.
At a young age.
That built a little bit of grit in you, I would think. Right?
Toughness.
Which came easy for you, I think. You end up moving to Calgary at some point, and you started coaching in Calgary.
I started coaching my kids in Calgary, and they started hockey.
I moved back here in 2014. You were one of the first coaches that got to put your stamp on my son. And I really appreciate it, Robin. I don't know if you've ever heard me say it before, but thank you very much. You are the coach that decided that my son was going to be a defenseman. At some point during the process, Xander was a winger. He wanted to try to do those things. I remember you kind of plucked him out of that lineup and said, no, this is a D-man.
Good backward skater.
And here we are, man, like several years later. I think it's the best choice for him. It suits his style of play and his personality. Some of the things that you instilled in him are still showing today, like old school, just unselfish play, move the puck, make the first pass, safety net guy.
It's a defenseman's goal, I think, is breakouts.
Yeah, breaking the puck out, playing things smart, right? I wouldn't call it always safe, but he will make the smart plays rather than gamble. He's not a gambler. Your last name's Gamble, but you don't instill a gambling style of play. Everything is very methodical and kind of relentless and heavy work rate. I'm appreciative of that. Tell me when you moved to Calgary, Rob. When did you take off?
I moved to Calgary in 1997.
97. Why'd you go there?
Came back from major junior. I finished my year in midget AAA. I hung up my skates pretty much at that point competitively.
Yeah.
I played some Centennial League hockey as a 17-year-old with men.
Yep.
Which was great. I get to know a lot of guys, but it's not top end elite athletes.
Yeah.
It's men that were top end elite athletes.
It's still,
It was good hockey.
yeah, good hockey, a little bit more gritty, but definitely great hockey.
That's where I got my first actual hockey fight.
A little scrap. Hey, did you tune up some 30-year-old that thinks it's
didn't
tough
lose.
or what? You didn't.
I didn't lose.
Fed him a few uppercuts, a couple rights and lefts. I love it. Why don't you tell me about your journey through hockey? Any struggles that you kind of encountered along the way? Just how it went for you.
Well, I don't think I ever started hockey thinking competitive. I started hockey because my brother played. My brother started late. Probably started in Adam, which would be 9.
U11, I think.
U11. I kind of started 1 year after, or I started 1 year after him. Played house league, couldn't stop till I was 2 years in hockey. I'd be the guy, in novice, always wanted to play net and doing angels on the ice. And my dad used to stand where the glass ended. So I always had the coach beyond the coach.
Yeah.
Right. I think when I got to Pee Wee, I took quite a growth spurt and finally made a rep team my first year Pee Wee. And then I was punished for doing something that I shouldn't have done. I was basically grounded. So the year that I had to try out for the Pee Wee AAA team, the first year they came in, I wasn't allowed to do it.
Yeah. Now, this was a decision made by your father?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was tough but fair.
Yep.
So fortunately for me, he had a guy that he worked with was helping coach a team, and they were going down to Boston. So they called me up to go down to Boston.
Yeah.
I finished the season with those guys. The old man let me, finish my punishment, basically. Right after that, I kind of stepped up into BAM AAA right off the hop, like first year. There were some big boys.
Yep.
I was a pretty good sized kid. Got tuned up. The very first big hit that I ever faced, I got tuned up pretty good. After that, I realized that everybody here is as tough as I want to be. Finished out my BAM AAA career in Quispam Sis. Bobby McAllister and Bobby Holder were my coaches.
Okay.
Love Bobby Holder. You'll see Bobby Holder standing up in coach's corner at the Qplex a lot for Mitch AAA games.
Oh, okay. So he's still around then. That's
still
good.
Around. The high school team was going. The first year of Hampton High was in '93. I was set to start U18, and I had noticed Pat McLaughlin was coaching the high school team. Loved his coaching. Could tell he was smart. That's where I wanted to go to get coached.
Yep.
Pat then, after the first year, took a job coaching the Midge AAA. So I had already decided I was going high school, and my father recognized it and said, "No, you're not. You're going to go with this guy. You're going to go with this coach." So I finished that dream and stepped over and tried out for Midge AAA. Made that my first year. Back then, it was only a 2-year program.
Okay.
Pat McLaughlin was the head coach. Brian Whitehead, he used to be the phys ed teacher over KB, Coach KB for quite a few years. Those guys coached me through our U18 career. Pat was a very strategic, systematic. He loved the systems.
Yeah.
I know I'm a systems guy.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I fell in love with systems and learned them pretty good. Beyond that, I tried my foot in like things like Hockey New Brunswick, HNIB, it was Hockey Night in Boston.
Okay. What is that?
They were tournaments that used to have to go try out for to be on Team NB.
Oh, okay.
Similar to, I guess, what would be the Gusto Young Guns.
Yep.
We'll take the team down in New Hampshire with an older age group. Got an invite to go try out for the Canada Games team, and Pat McLaughlin was also coaching that with Kevin Pottle. Roland Collette, I think, still helps out with the Wildcats. Traveled to Germany that year.
That's cool that you went to Germany.
Yeah,
like during the tryout process, you're going off to Germany?
Well, that was the first year, and I think that was the first year of the Program of Excellence by Hockey Canada. That was a pretty neat thing to do at 14, 15 years old. We went over and played in a tournament as a U15 provincial team, and we played in a tournament against U17 international teams.
Okay.
Wearing that jersey.
Nice. Rocking the Habs?
Yeah, we were wearing the Fredericton Canadians.
Okay.
It was like that was a Mitch Triple A team, a band Triple A team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went over there and played Germany, Slovakia, and Switzerland. Got some training from their trainers. They did a lot of weird things. Like when you go over there, I mean, number one, it's all Olympic ice surface.
Okay, well that changes the game a lot. Yeah, the size.
We were living in an athlete's village, had chefs cooking our meals. The training was like over speed training where they tie a bungee cord to you. I don't think it's that weird now. I think they do it in a lot of places now, but
Oh yeah,
basically tie a bungee cord to you and pull you back, and then your feet have to keep up the speed you're going.
Yep.
A lot of plyometrics and Pilates type stuff. You can see why the Europeans are in such peak shape. You know, the training that they did then.
Their game was very different, from my understanding. You always heard about the Europeans. They do it this way. They were the guys skating on 1-inch hollows and not the standard deep cut. So they were doing things a little different, skating wise. A lot of high skill stuff, a lot of speed, and less physicality. I mean,
they got a lot more ice, so they have time. They don't have to worry so much about physicality and taking a player out.
Yeah.
Of the play.
How did you guys do in Germany? We
didn't fare that well.
No.
I mean, like I said, we were, not making excuses, but we were a U15 provincial team, facing U17 international squads. A lot of players that we played against went to the NHL. And there was quite a few local guys around here that went as well. A couple guys at West Van, a couple guys at St. John. Not all AAA players either. A couple of high school players that made the team. But we played Slovakia. They tromped us 21-1.
Oof.
Which is a rough game. I mean, it's hard to stay in a game like that. Germany, I think we played them twice because they were hosting. Lost the first game, we lost 10-2 and maybe 8-3 or something like that. And then Swiss, we actually had a good game against the Swiss. We lost 7-4, but yeah, it's a close game.
What an experience that is, though.
Oh,
man, I've never, I don't think we've done anything like that out of New Brunswick in years. Like at the Team New Brunswick level, the boys are in Fredericton right now. That's like the big trip for them. They go to Fredericton and they get to stay in the dorms, and woohoo, that's it.
Well, that was an exchange that they did for, I think, quite a few years after that. I mean, it was us going there the first year. I think the second year they brought a team from Germany over here. I think they were trading it back and forth. I don't really know where it ended or when it ended.
Yeah.
But it was a really great thing for the players, in a small province like New Brunswick to be able to experience.
I guess so, especially coming out of a small town like Hampton. Like, what are we?
Well, and I mean, Hampton was a big town to me.
Yeah,
I was coming out of Kingston, right? The closest neighbors,
straight out the woods,
kilometer away.
Yeah. Excellent, interesting, cool experience for you, and you probably learned a lot there and took that back with you and added it into your game, and eventually that's probably come out in some of your coaching philosophies, right? It all builds your toolbox of hockey knowledge, right? So all that's kind of into it. Here we are today. All right, let's reach into this just a little bit. I don't know if you've heard, I hear it a lot down at Tactical Edge Pro Shop in Rothesay. The people are coming in and the parents are starting to rumble a little bit, right? It's midsummer, but it's hockey season already starting, right? People are prepping. They know what's coming. By mid-August, we're probably starting to get on the ice a little bit. I think the high school guys have started their own kind of summer training. Henry Titus might be leading that charge.
There's a bunch of kids, all the same age, and some of the kids that have graduated, and Bulldogs, high school guys, just going to play pickup just so they can get on the ice once a week.
Yeah. Keep their legs loose, right? Keep their legs loose and stay kind of in hockey shape somewhat while enjoying summer. The conversations that I've heard are this. The Hampton Bulldogs, there's a lot of players on that program that have made the decision that, for our final year, we're going to go take a shot at high school hockey. And it's interesting because high school hockey died here in, I think, 2017. I was coaching football then also, and the football program folded the same year the hockey program did, I'm pretty sure. Football came back before hockey did, and hockey was just on hiatus for the longest time here in Hampton. So
I think they went 8 years.
That's it. That's unreal. 8 years with no high school hockey here in this town. So most of the boys went towards this Bulldogs program, which is What is it? What is that league?
U18 AA or A. It just depends on where they see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, is it Arnold Cooper? Is that his name? Is that who started
Arnold
that?
Hop.
Yeah. So Arnold. What a good, kind-souled man that is. He's been giving back to sports in Hampton forever. I've sat down with Arnold and talked with him, and he'll talk about his years in scouting. He was huge into scouting. That was like and not hockey scouting, like Boy Scouts. That was a big thing for him. He was taking people and going on these scout trips, and he has all these kind of cool stories about what they used to do in the scouts. But I'm not too sure if he has kids in sport, but he was always kind of involved in it.
Yeah, I don't know Arnold that well, other than when I see him at the rink, he's always, willing to talk and lend an ear. And
Yeah.
He's been a staple in this community for sure.
Yeah.
In the hockey program.
100%.
Always been a part of it.
Well, he started the Bulldogs, I believe. Him and a crew, I'll call it, but he's been like the face of that organization for a long time, and they've been very successful. Last year, they were the provincial champions, I believe. They have a good squad. There are players on that team that, in my opinion, are, Vito's level caliber. And for whatever reason, they were tired of that grind or just wanted to be with their friends a little bit more. And they decided to kind of gravitate towards the Bulldogs program. They've been firing off for a couple of years, just putting in strong wins and good games. It's fast hockey. Yeah, we'd go to the old barn, the old Hampton rink, and on a Friday night when the Bulldogs were playing, it was unreal, like just completely packed wall to wall. You've been there, you've seen it, right? Yep. And parents from all over, people hanging off the glass. The students have the bullhorns out and all these like makeshift car horn things going on. It was a time. It was cool to witness that, be part of that program, see it all play out. For whatever the reason is, these players are now looking to kind of maybe take a stab back at Hampton hockey. Hampton hockey's only been back around for what, 3 years?
This will be the third year coming up.
So 2 years it's been around. Year one, you were not involved. And
I was involved in getting the team going.
Okay.
Went to meetings at the school before they had a full staff, trying to get, an actual staff together. Because the coaches on the bench are one thing, but it's the people behind the scenes that make it all happen. The managers and the GMs, the athletic directors, and
yep.
So yeah, I was part of getting that going. I was sticking around for my boys in U15 AA. That initial startup, they had a tough year,
very tough.
But teams do when they start up. Like any new team, they're going to have growing pains. And I look at last year as a huge success for us because we went from dead last. I think we ended up probably roughly around third.
Yep.
In the Southern Conference. I'm not really sure what's going to happen this year. There's lots of talk.
Yep.
I live out in the peninsula. I keep myself
fairly
isolated.
Yes, sir.
And I'm hopeful, but I'm hopeful for what this year will be. But until the blades hit the ice, we're not really going to know what we have. And
I like that.
Committed.
That's right. We'll get into that. Let's just talk about the high school program a little bit further before we jump into that. Year one, when they came back, as you said, it was a challenge. It was tough. I think they won one game. Rough season. Year two, you're at the helm. That was last year, and competitive hockey. My boy had the privilege of being affiliated to Hampton High School. Played a lot of games. I think he played.
They played in his 10. I think.
Yeah, I think he played all 10 regular season games. It was his first opportunity to actually go away on his own without dad beside him. I think you took a bus full of boys, a Sea Dogs bus. You took a bus full of boys down to Nova Scotia, played in a tournament down there, and it's the first time I let my boy go and just let him just go be. He had a blast, right? 4 to a room or whatever it was. He got to have that experience of like being part of the older group. So
I think that's the best part of that type of hockey. And it's not saying that you don't want the parents there, but like for me, at the end of the day, it's not how many people are in the stands. It's not really the fanfare, I guess I could say. It's the thing that you remember when it's all said and done, no matter how far you go. It's the dressing room, it's the practices, It's the culture, the companionship, your teammates. Those are the things that you're going to remember.
Yeah, for sure. And that's in all sport,
Yeah.
right? And even if you're not an athlete, a lot of times you kind of remember those high school years, right? You think about the times, oh God, back in high school and some of the wildest things and all the memories. A good portion of your adult life um, is made up through those high
Well,
school years.
think about when you meet up with somebody you went to school with. I mean, that's what you're talking about is your glory days. Right?
Yeah, for sure, man. That's awesome. How would you describe the current state of Hampton High hockey then? You're talking about culture a little bit, and let's hear what your view is on the current state of Hampton hockey
Well,
and your vision.
the vision is to create a program, not just a team. So I'd like to see this move more into a club type atmosphere. I'd like to see minor hockey and the high school kind of get on board together so that we can develop these kids up through and everyone's sitting in the right position. That doesn't mean like last year, I would have never like split the two teams head to head because it really wasn't where my head was at. I was focused on the high school team. I watched every Bulldogs game. I watched those players. I've coached most of those players at some point in their career. I really just would like to see, and there's a couple of schools around it. I'd like to see it become more of a program and make it a little more elite. I'll bring this up because it kind of got me for a couple of days, but in one of your podcasts, I think you were talking with Jackson Bell.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. But somewhere in that conversation, it was, I heard a comparison with beer league and high school, almost kind of being the same thing.
Yep.
And it got me a little heated.
Good.
But I had to think about it for a little bit. I was going to like, do I call Cliff? Do I go up to his house and say, hey man, what's up with that?
I love it.
But I think really at the end of the day, it's up to us to make it a program. So, you have teams like St. Stephen, Rossay High, last year, AA teams, AAA quality. St. Stephen won the Dog Bowl in the AAA division.
Yep.
Right. We played them, lost 2 games in a row in the playoffs, but kept up with them. Their goalie, I think last year their goalie ended up being the player that got chosen to try out for the Sea Ducks. I never really followed that. Not sure how he did.
Yeah,
but
I don't think it's happened yet. I don't think it's happened yet.
Maybe not.
I think he's going to their training camp. So whenever they kick off in August, he'll be there as one of the goalies having a shot at it.
So, I mean, really, at the end of the day, AA school, AAA school, it's not like there's no level there. I mean, it's based on population. A AA team could be the best team in the province. Maybe year to year, that's going to change. KV's moved up to that elite league. I'm not sure where they placed last year, but I think St. Stephen beat KV in the final in Sea Ducks tournament.
Okay.
Right. Then you got St. Max, who's a AAA squad that was playing like interlock games with Moncton AAA schools that weren't in that Elite 9.
Yep.
Where I want to see it go is I want it to become a program, like I said, but I also want to see it become a culture at the school and bring the pride back to the school. When I went to high school, I played mid to AAA. I went to every single home game for the high school teams.
Yep.
It was a pride thing. So it was about showing off your enthusiasm for your school. It's inclusive in the way that everyone's involved, everyone's invited.
Yep.
Obviously, you don't want people crawling over the boards, but man, I love seeing that glass wall. It's great. When the boys score a goal and they skate down to the student section, like that's huge.
It is huge
for the kids. And I don't think because you play high school, that's where your journey needs to end. Like I look at a kid like Bo Smith, played at Fundy High. He's playing junior this year, I think.
Okay.
So your career doesn't need to end there. It's all about what you make it. I'm just there to push the kids. And I tell the kids right off the hop, I'm not here to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
I'm here to be your coach. I'm here to be your mentor. I'm here to listen, here to help you out with school, and I just try to cultivate that culture of team first and giving it your all for the guy next to you.
Yeah.
So it's about, and I've spoken with Jamie Gray about this too. It's like, and I know he's changed his view on it. It's like, it's about the logo on the front, not the name on the back, but it is also about the name on the back because you got to show respect for both.
Yes. Yeah.
You know,
I like
fool
that.
of yourself, and you don't want to make a fool of your family. You don't want to make a fool of your team.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at with this.
Building a program and getting a bit of a culture within the school. I like that. Have you heard a hockey program at a high school level where it's part of the curriculum?
Yes.
I don't know if that's here or not, but I've heard that there are teams out there that first period of the day or just before they go to class, they're on the ice and they're practicing with their team, and then after practice they jump into regular curriculum.
Well,
Is that something that you would like to see?
yeah, it would be. It's tough. It's tough for guys that aren't teachers for that to be an opportunity. I know Sussex does that.
Do they really?
They do. Yeah.
Okay. They're a good program.
I can't remember their athletic director's name, but I think he was the coach right up until last year.
Okay.
I think Jason Nelson's stepping in. And there's also another guy that I used to play midget AAA with. He teaches a class. It's the history of hockey. The whole class is involved, and the whole class can go out and learn how to skate and learn the rules of hockey, and learn the methodology.
Man.
Right. I'd like to see something like that happen. I'm not sure how it would look.
Yeah.
But that's something that you have to get the athletic director on board with. And
Who is the current athletic director at Hampton High? Is it Richard still? Alex Richard?
Yeah.
Okay. And the principal, is it Lenahan? Amber Lenahan?
Lingley.
Yeah, I used to know her as Lenahan. She was the athletic director when I was coaching football there, and she's all about sport, right? She's a former athlete herself, still an athlete. I think she has a big respect for what high school sport means to the community and to these kids' lives. If you're listening, Amber, hear us out. Let's get period one, the team's hockey practice. How cool would that be? But I wonder how open they would be to that. Is that something that's decided at high school level, or does it have to be run through the district and they have to approve it first?
I
and all
don't
this
really
and that?
know the steps that are involved in doing that. I mean, I'd love to have a conversation with Alex
In due time.
and Amber. And look, those two have been phenomenal. A really great support getting this team going. I mean, it's not an easy thing for an athletic director to be looking after multiple sports at the same time.
Yeah.
And a principal to deal with, if the game was rough the night before, and she's going to speak to the students, or trying to watch kids' marks and make sure they're on par. And I mean, we try to take some of that off their plate. I met with the kids a couple times this year, check in on marks. Do you need help? Do you need peer help? What are your marks like? What courses are you taking? What courses are you going to take? Just try to be involved. It's not all about hockey.
Yeah.
It's about growth. If we want these kids to grow, be mature, and cultivate the correct culture, we have to start at the help, I guess you'd say.
Yeah, for sure.
Right. And let that trickle down. A lot of the kids were helping each other study for tests or exams coming up, or somebody was having an issue, one of the other players would help them out. I think we had a good culture that all the kids bought in this year. And that's what I'm looking forward to this year. If it is happening that the Bulldogs come over, great.
Yep.
I hope they buy into what we have going, because what we have going right now is phenomenal.
Okay. Yep. I like that. So what excites you the most about heading into this year specifically?
Well, I think how well we did last year obviously is going to come into play. We've got a lot of graduating students coming up this year.
Yeah.
So the thought and the discussions that have been going around the management group is that this could be our year to make a run. I mean, if we start the year with that as our end goal, we make a plan.
Yep.
We execute the plan and we head towards the goal, and we don't move the goalpost.
Yeah. Everyone's got to row in the same direction.
That's
right.
And to the beat of the drum.
Right. I like that. Row in the same direction to the beat of the drum. That starts with you. I watched it last year when you affiliated Xander, and I remember stepping into the locker room once for whatever reason, but it seems like every practice, every meeting, every post-game talk, you're sending the same message about culture, what you're trying to build here, and ensuring that everybody's bought in. And rowing the same direction. I think it paid off for the team. They did phenomenal. The energy around the team was great. From outside looking in, I didn't see any bad apples that were going against the grain, trying to upset the apple cart.
No, we had no issues with, I mean, if we had issues with attitude or negativity, we nipped it in the bud early.
Yep.
And that's what I said, like all the kids bought in. They understood and they saw the difference. As soon as you let that spit out of your mouth, that negativity, it's the virus and it spreads quick. So I think the kids recognized that early on, and that's what gave us a successful year. In saying that, kids are going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? It's like being 3 years old or 6 years old and learning out a swear word in front of your parents. I mean, it's going to happen.
Yep.
How you react to that is really where the kids are going to develop, like where it's tough, I said this to the U15 AA team last year. It's like when it's tough and it's uncomfortable, that's where the growth is, in that uncomfortable spot, right? So when you're in practice and you're kind of half-assing it and you're doing what's comfortable, there's no growth there.
You have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Well,
I think that's a David Goggins thing.
That's Tom Brady too.
Tom Brady, right? It's true, right? Anybody that's really driven, you have to drive yourself outside of your comfort zone, right? And when they do that, they will see the difference that it makes. Put that phone down for a little bit, go do something uncomfortable.
Collect those at the start. Like soon as the boys show up to the rink, they're going in the phone hotel.
I like it. Yeah.
You saw us on the bus too, right?
Yep.
At the phone hotel on the bus. Boys get on the bus, put your phones in here, and go chat.
I love it. Right. And that's how they build bonds. It's easy to get sucked into the machine and be trapped in there. And, everyone's scrolling and they're all in their own little bubbles and no one's really communicating.
So the guy in the seat next to him.
Yeah. So when you take that away from them, they have no choice but to eventually look at the guy beside them in the eye and be like, hey, what's up?
I think it was a really good change that we made that change about a third of the way through the year. And I thought that was one of the best things that we did all year.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart move on that. Who's on your staff this year? Has anything changed?
No, nothing's changed.
Who's on
in terms of the coaching staff? We have Jimmy Mollett, who's returning. Isaac graduated last year.
Yep.
Great leader on the team, quiet, but a good leader.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Titus is back.
I love that guy.
Great guy. Motivator, has some really good metaphors with cows and work and four-cylinder engines.
Love it, man.
And Chris Meyer will be back on the bench with us. Chris doesn't say a whole lot, but when he does say something, the kids listen. I don't know Chris's backstory on his hockey career, but he's a good hockey guy. Basic fundamental stuff. He's got some sound advice for the kids, and
he cares about the game, right?
James Ferguson, Matt Ferguson, and Tara are in the management end of things.
Man, the back end that you have there, the management team is phenomenal, right? When Jane and Tara get going, watch out. They're a whirlwind, and they're fundraising. They're making sure that all the things that need to make this team flourish, it's all taken care of. You don't have to think too much about that, right? The logistics, fundraising, it's all set up.
That was one of the only deals I had when I came on the scene. I just want to think of hockey.
Yeah.
Matt Ferguson is our money guy. He's on the ball, forecasting, budgeting, checking in with Bonnie at the school to see where our bank account's at, making sure the bills get paid, making sure we're buying things properly. Tim Mullet has some good connections where he was with the Vito's for a few years.
Yeah.
He's got some good connections. And I mean, we raised a lot of money last year before the season, before we even had the team there.
Yeah.
You were able to afford brand new jerseys and socks and
team water bottles.
It
was a good feel. It was a really good feel.
Purchased like 200 pucks so that we have a good, supply of things and some whiteboards and this and that. I mean, it's like running a caliber team is not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Going into tournaments and taking buses is not cheap.
Yeah.
Constantly asking the parents for money isn't something that we want to do. We want to be competitive with the schools around us and what they're charging for registration. And we know that like some kids are choosing the path they choose. Like sometimes it's a financial reason. The difference between high school hockey is say AAA Jitos, I mean, there's a difference in $5,000.
Unreal.
It is unreal. But I mean, that's the cost if you want to play that caliber of hockey. And I can't say anything. I did it.
Yep.
I remember going out and getting corporate sponsors as a player, and it's what you got to do. Just now they're asking for the money up front.
Yeah.
So it does make it tougher for some families. And at the end of the day, the kids want to play where they want to play. They want to play with who they want to play with.
Yep.
And they're going to make it whatever team they're going to make it. I mean, it's all at the end of the day, it's all up to the kids. It's what they want.
Yeah, for sure.
You're just there to kind of nurture that.
Yeah, 100%. There are several grade 12 players coming from this other program. You've already mentioned it that you're happy to have them come. Nothing is written in stone essentially until those blades hit the ice, and then you're going to look to get a true evaluation of what's going on and how you're going to build your team. I like that. How, as a coach, how are you going to handle the situation? Does anything really change in your planning for this season, or is it basically nothing's changed, and it's just when August hits and you guys start your training camps, get the evaluations boards out and put together a real product?
Technically can't hit the ice till September 20th.
Oh, okay.
That's
late. It seems
a high
late.
school team.
It is.
It is and it isn't. I mean, if you're comparing it to the ETSA program, it's late. If you're comparing it to minor hockey, it's on par.
Yeah.
We're trying to talk with Hampton Minor Hockey to make sure that we do it right.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want overlapping tryouts for U18 Bulldogs and the high school team, simply because, right now, the high school team would be the upper tier, and then it would be midget AA or U18 AA.
Yep.
So we'd like to have our tryouts. Like Mark Marshall he's the president of Hampton Minor Hockey. Mark, well, he's been really open about having conversations and making sure we make this work for both teams. And we've already been having meetings. Like we've had 1 or 2 meetings this summer already as the high school management group.
Yeah.
We're inviting Mark out to our next meeting so we can have this conversation and get things ironed out, make sure that nobody's stepping on each other's toes, and great things flow.
Troy Somerville has stepped down as the head coach of the Bulldogs. He's put together some great years with that team, a lot of respect there throughout the community. He's just passing off the torch. Do you know if the coaching search has closed on the Bulldogs yet, or is that still open?
I think the applications are still.
All right.
And Troy did a phenomenal. Like the kids have nothing but respect for Troy.
Oh yeah.
Robbie Baird as well. Like phenomenal skills guy. Troy just has a way. He's been a high school baseball coach, U18 baseball coach, and all the way up through hockey, coaching Mason and his daughter. And now he's working with the Guardians, intermediate baseball with Neil Johnston.
He's got his mitts and everything.
Yeah, the guy's got nothing but respect from everyone.
Yeah,
and he's earned it. I mean, he knows the game. He's probably one of the best umpires around here.
Yeah,
he knows sports. He's engaged. He treats the kids with respect. He treats them like young adults, not like kids. My son Billy played when all the kids were going and affiliating for the high school in the first year that they played. He went and affiliated with the Bulldogs, which was a little against the grain. I think there's only 2 kids, him and
Moose.
Yeah.
Jimmy Moose.
I thought he made the right choice at the time because he went for the coaching. He knew Troy was a good coach. That's what he wanted. I think he made the right move. Learned a lot from Troy in a few games that he got to play with him. Got lots of ice time with them. Scored a goal with them. Like
there you go.
I got nothing bad to say about Troy Somerville. He is phenomenal at what he does. I hope he continues somewhere along.
Is his brother Scott Somerville?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, and Scotty's a big hockey guy too. He was co-owner of Express Hockey for a long time.
I played with Scotty in Centennial League, but the first year I played.
Scotty any good?
Yeah, he was a great hockey.
Yeah. Is he as good as his son Gabe? Gabe was a slick player, man.
Sorry, Scotty. He got it somewhere though, right?
Yeah,
Gabe did.
Yeah, Gabe was phenomenal.
Scotty has a good hockey mind. He's intelligent.
Yeah,
so pays attention.
Yeah,
he's on top.
I like it. I remember when I first moved here, I used to see this kid like power rollerblading by the house all the time with a backpack on. I'm like, who's this kid always like power skating on rollerblades around? It was Gabe Somerville. And
Yeah, he was fast as the wind too.
he was. So I talked to the athletic director of Hampton Middle, Matt Troop, and I think to this day he's never seen an athlete in track like he has seen Gabe Somerville. Gabe Somerville ran, I'll call it the 1200 or whatever, or 800, and he literally was lapping people in the race, right? Like, just wheels for days on that kid.
I wouldn't have any doubt that he's probably a good ball player too.
Oh yeah, yeah, he does it all. Yep. So all these kids that are coming over from the Bulldogs program, do you see them as transfers, or are they just they're all kind of held the same? They're simply student athletes coming to try out for their Husky uniform, just like everybody
Well,
else.
I mean, I know most of these kids, so it's tough to not have what's the word I'm looking for? It's preconceived notions
Yeah.
or bias. I'm likely going to recuse myself from the evaluations, simply because I have two kids that are trying out for the team this year. I hear some will be trying out this year too. He's coming up and he affiliated with us last year as well. But I may recuse myself. I may lean on some good hockey heads to help pick the team, and then when it gets down to the last few, I might step in and say, then I might base it on something other than hockey.
Yeah.
In terms of like, is this guy a team player? Maybe talk to his old coach. Maybe talk to Troy. Maybe talk to whoever it might be, Marshall.
Yeah. Will you have a say in who's doing those evaluations then? You'll have your select scouts in the stands doing the evaluations. Is that your decision?
Yeah, collectively. Yeah, collectively as a group. Listen, I don't run this team. We run this team. It's a management group, and we run this team collectively. My ideas aren't better than Tim's. Tim's ideas aren't better than Ryan's. Ideas aren't better than mine. It's all about working together for the common goal. That's what I love about the management group that we have. I keep calling it the management group.
I like it.
We called it that in the text.
Yeah.
That's the name of it, is our management group. Make decisions based on information,
Yep.
not based on how we feel about it necessarily. It's all based on information.
I like that.
Yeah.
It weeds out some of the politics and different things like that. I love that parents are concerned on both ends. I think it should be that way, right? I know there are parents that have kids that were on the team last year that are a little worried that, geez, I don't know if they're going to make it this year. I also know that there are Bulldog parents that are thinking the exact same way. They're like, oh God, I'm a little worried that he might not make the high school team. So everyone's kind of got the same feel, and no one's feeling entitled to, oh, that's my spot, I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I hope they don't feel entitled, only for the simple fact that, you want kids to have goals, you want them to strive for the goals, but don't put an expectation on it. If you do, don't put an expectation of success or failure. If they don't make the high school team, we now have a Bulldogs team that will support development. That's not taking anything away from what they did last year. Everyone was where they needed to be last year.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. The way we're going to have it set up this year, and again, there's going to be discussions with the Hampton Minor Hockey, but everyone should end up where they should be.
Yeah.
And that's key, because like the problem with the Bulldogs that I had, I was technical director for a couple of years with Hampton Minor Hockey and assistant technical director for a couple of years before that. The problem we had with the Bulldogs is that if you had a player that was on the cusp and they didn't make it, they're going down and playing C hockey, which is fine if that's what the kid wants to do. But if they're not developing in terms of staying in hitting hockey and playing competitive, if that kid didn't really want to play recreational, they've got nowhere to go. Now they do. Yeah. So I think things are falling into place the way they should be.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Has there been any discussions about game night? I know Wednesday nights were the Hampton High's game nights before. Is that going to change? Who makes that decision? Is that through Hampton Minor Hockey? Like, can we get a game on a Friday night here, Rob? That's what we need.
That's probably not going to happen. We tried to change our game times this year. We tried to swap the girls to get it a little closer to the weekend, to a Thursday, and the girls were into it. They were into like swapping the times, but you're not just dealing with the other team that has the ice time, because there's a time difference in the games. And then, you're dealing with the town, you're dealing with Hampton Minor Hockey, figure skating, junior old timers,
So many
Yeah.
programs.
speed skating. It's complex. So just to ask the question and hope you're going to get the answer you want. I mean, it's a role that I don't want to put Hampton high school hockey, boys high school hockey over any other program that's going on. They're all important.
Yep.
Right. They're all important programs.
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard that there's some discussion about Hampton High being forced to play AAA this year rather than AA based on the population of the school. Have you heard anything about this?
Well, I hear talk about it, but we're not there for population. It's all based on population.
Okay. Do you know what the numbers are for that, Rob?
Honestly, I don't. I think it's less than 1,000
Okay.
students. Agree or disagree? I mean, maybe you have 1,000 students, but you still have the same quantity of players that play hockey. So I'm not sure how that works out in the wash, but I think ESA, Cole St. Anne, up Fredericton, I think they're having that kind of issue right now. I think if we were going to go, I haven't heard anything from the league, Bob Coates, or any of those people. I know Alex Richard has to do an AGM. I'm not sure if she's done it yet, but they do an AGM for sports and stuff, like SSMB. I haven't heard anything from her regarding that yet. So as far as I know, we're going back AA, and next year might be a different story.
Do you have a say in that as the head coach of the program? So if you felt that the team was ready to go to the AAA program or to the Super League, do you have to do some sort of application and sell your team to a committee? Or?
So yeah, you have to apply to play up or to play down. The only issue that there is with doing that is you take your team out of provincial contention. So if we were a AA team playing in AAA high school hockey, we would not have the opportunity to go provincials.
Okay.
For AAA. Same if you're AAA playing down in AA, like quite a few of the St. John schools, they don't get to go through it.
Okay. That's interesting. If Hampton High ultimately is required to play AAA for whatever reason this year, does it change your evaluation process at all and how you assemble this unit?
We're picking the best teams possible.
I like it.
My kids, and I know not everyone agrees with parents coaching their kids. I heard it on this podcast, ACPs, in respect to that. I try not to have any bias. I mean, whether I do or I don't is besides the fact. I think that I treat my kids when we're on the ice, and they know, I treat my kids like every other player.
I've seen Bill feel the wrath of Father Gamble a few times, right? And
well, it's not Father Gamble on the ice.
Coach Gamble, that's it, right? So I've seen him in the doghouse plenty of times, right? If Billy does something off the cuff or isn't doing what you're asking of him, he gets benched just like anybody else, right?
Yeah.
I've seen him wear the captain on his chest a few times. Was he the captain last year? No, Gilbert was. Tanner Gilbert was the captain. So the leadership group of your high school team, how is that picked? Is that picked within the team itself? Do the boys vote to see who the leadership group is? Or is
no, we discuss that as a management group.
Okay.
We pick out it's not just people that are wearing the letters for the leadership group. So we try to pick 5 players that will become the leadership group, and we rely on those guys. I mean, at the end of the day, we don't want to be the ones going in there and cracking the whip. The kids are getting to the age now where they have to learn how to pull the dressing room together themselves.
Yep.
That's part of the growth. And so we do rely heavily on our leadership group. We'll bring the leadership group in and hold them to account. We don't berate anyone, but we hold them to account on how the team is acting.
Yep.
Whether they're being coming prepared, whether they're doing warm up, the way they should be, how they're acting when we're on road trips and things like that. Like, we hold the leadership to account.
I love it. It empowers them too, right? It teaches them to be.
Nobody wants the old guy yelling at them.
Yeah.
And we don't do a whole lot of that. I mean, I used to be quite
liar, Rob. You do a lot of yelling.
You know I did.
Yeah, I love it.
I don't coach it. I yell a lot of directives from the bench, but you get more flies with honey.
Okay.
Vinegar, and I've learned that over my years.
And I will give you your credit to that. You were fiery, very fiery on the bench. I've talked to some officials that are very impressed with your growth as a coach, right? Because they've seen it. They've had to give you the eyes a couple times, or you're out of here type of deal. But I've watched you on the bench now, and you're more of a CEO. You're in the middle of the bench, and you're managing the game. You have, I think, your assistants talk to the linesmen and the refs a little bit, and unless you need to kind of ask your question, you kind of let them handle it. You really kind of have evolved into a CEO type on the bench.
Well, thanks for that.
Yeah.
I'm actually like tend to be the guy calming other people down now, but
Which is
I
crazy.
learned my lesson. I mean, I was getting suspended as a technical director, which isn't a good look for the hockey association. But you live and you learn. I mean, I'm learning every time I step on the ice with the kids. Every time I step on the bench, I'm learning. I've had coaches horse bite my arm with anger. And it's all about keeping it. If you freak out on the bench, you're one of those viruses.
And it spills right into the player.
Right. And that,
Right.
and you learn that as you get, I say you get older. I'm the oldest guy on the bench, unfortunately, but in my years of coaching, I've learned that, you're sitting there trying to tell the players to not be negative and not be the virus. And meanwhile, you're yelling at the ref for a call, or you're throwing your arms up in the air and reacting. There's a reason that NHL coaches look like statues.
Yeah.
And I look at a guy, maybe not so much in the playoffs this year. I've been kind of reading up on Jared McDougall and stuff like.
He's an interesting.
He's a motivator. Yeah, that's what I try to be. I don't try to bring a tear to a kid's eye with my speeches in the dressing room. I just try to motivate and empower, and that's my hope that I'm doing anyways. And empower the leadership group to push the kids to where they want to be, and
That's the way.
cohesive, right?
I'd love to get Gardner McDougall on here sometime. Have him sitting across from me.
I'd love to
have
hear
a
it.
chat. Yeah, I will approach him when the time is right. I got to figure out how to do video podcasts. I
like
prefer this though. I like sitting.
Like a Teams almost.
I'm trying to get the Sea Dogs coach in here and Jim Holton too. We're all just a bunch of humans, man.
That's it.
It's a bunch of humans having fun here. That's good. Rob Gamble, listen. When I first met you and I seen you coaching, you had this presence about you, right? And you were wearing your Calgary tracksuit. We had our normal Hampton minor hockey coaches that I would see out there doing their thing, and there was this brute that was on the ice with a beard, this big beard. Oh yeah, man, that beard it held some weight. I'm like, who's this guy, right? And we were barking orders. The big beard was hanging off you. Will you bring back the beard for this high school season?
The beard comes back every high school season or every hockey season.
Good. No, but I want the old beard. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one that was like 8 to 10 inches long. Can you pull that off?
The further we go into the playoffs, the longer it's going to get.
All right. So is the beard growing starting right now?
Nope. Oh, it'll start in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got any special oils or kind of ointments and stuff you rub in there to try to get the growth?
Andrew Simpson at the chop shop, but he's taken off up to Sussex. And
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make that trip from Kingston Peninsula. But
There's got to be some sort of special dandelion oil from over there in Kingston or something. You just
potato skins.
Potato skins and just rub it on your beard to get it going. But I like that. Okay, Rob, why don't you tell me about your development model, your strategy? How do you like to develop kids?
Well, like we were just talking about before we started, I guess, I'm a systems guy.
Okay.
So obviously skills required, and I know. Shout out to Andy because he's probably cringing right now, but I mean, skills is super important. I think that you can incorporate skills within drills.
Yep.
I like to take plays and systems that I use and reverse engineer them to come up with drills. We use a lot of flow drills. I try to change drills up based on what I saw in games, sometimes only making little tweaks, but I try to add or delete something from drills systematically. So, if we're running a 1-2-2-4 check, we dumb it down and, we'll put a coach in each corner and have the guys run routes on how the rotation goes. So 1-2-2-4 check, this guy chases the puck out of the corner, F2 takes the winger, F3 slides down to the dot and rolls back up to the high guy. And then we come out of the zone, go back in the other corner, do the same thing. Then we go back in, we run one corner, D to D pass, do a rotation so that the kids get a few reps. They're doing one rep, but it's 3 or 4 reps within that one drill.
Nice. I like that.
They're learning the patterns And then at the end of the day, if you work hard within the system, I said it to you before, is that, hard work beats talent and talent doesn't work hard. Our goal as the Huskies is we'll probably amp it up this year. Last year was our motto was we are a tough team to play against.
Okay.
Always. We're relentless. I use that word all the way up through coaching. When we forecheck, no matter what our forecheck is, no matter what our back check is, it's relentless. So I'm always pushing that on the boys. This is the first year that I really focused on the penalty kill.
Okay.
We've had some great penalty killers on our team. That's all they didn't get on the power play.
Yep.
Because they were too good of a penalty killer. Because they worked hard. They outworked the 5 guys. 4 guys outworked 5.
I love it.
So I think development wise, it's about intensity. It's about the buy-in. It's about being able to take constructive criticism. Don't berate a kid for making a mistake. Try to walk them and talk them through it. Yep. I mean, I had a couple players on the team this year that I've coached in the past that were really tough to coach because of their attitudes. And this year was just pleasure.
They bought in.
Yeah. Like Sneaky Snides. Like, he's hard on himself. He's a really great player. He's really tough on himself. Call him Sneaky Snides because he always sneaks into the right spot at the right time.
Yeah.
But just a pleasure to coach this year and had a phenomenal time. And
did he graduate?
I enjoyed. No.
So he's back.
He's a graduate.
Well, he's back trying it.
Yeah.
Okay. Who graduated this year from the program?
Isaac Mullet, Will Savoy.
Okay.
Who came onto the team late.
He was a good addition. Late.
It was a great addition. Yeah.
And he came in as a D man, right? Because you guys were a little thin on D.
Yeah. And Carter Tate.
Okay.
Those were our 3 graduates.
So there's a lot of returning players, all in grade 11 now. The majority of your team are grade 11 theirs now, right? Well, 10 and 11.
Well, I think the majority of our team will be grade 12s this year, but we have a good size group grade 11s.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. I'm hoping to take a few grade 10s, and
if they earn the ice and they show they can, then
and that's what we're all about. That you're in your ice time, you're in your bench time. I mean, it's not fair play in high school.
Yep.
You know what I'm like. I mean, you've seen me coach. I like rolling. If I got 4 lines, we're rolling 4 lines.
Yeah.
I don't find that sitting your 4th line, throughout the season, throughout the regular season, it does not build depth in your team.
Yep.
And then you're relying heavily on a 3-line unit. You may as well run 3 lines. I mean, what do you got 4 lines on the bench for if you're not going to run them?
Yeah.
So if you're not creating the depth, what are they doing there? You may as well go 3 lines and affiliate the rest. Where we have a development league now below us, I'm taking a full 4. We're going to run full 4.
Yep.
And try to create that depth on the team, and the guys are going to move up the ranks based on what they're putting into it.
I love it. Yeah. Tell me about your PK unit a little bit. You focus on that a little bit last year, more so than usual. Is there something special about it? I can tell you this, what I hate about the PK for the Montreal Canadiens is just because I don't understand it. But it looks like this tight diamond in front of the goalie. And it's like they're encouraging point shots or whatever. Like, go ahead, take your shots. And there's no real pressure on the point man at all. And they just kind of sit around the net. It drives me nuts as a fan watching the Canadians do that. Now, mind you, they were good at it, but it scares me.
The diamond, we've looked at the diamond. I think it's trying to keep the shots from the top outside.
Yep.
It's leaving your 3 guys down low to take away, because hockey's changed in terms of like, you see Ovechkin and guys like that, like sitting on the dot, waiting for that one-timer.
Yeah.
Draisaitl sitting down low. And I think it's, you got that diamond to have the one guy up top chasing, keeping pucks outside, high on flanks.
Yep.
High shots on the point, and then just trying to look after the mess in front of that to keep the front of the net clear so we can make the play right.
It's a lot of trust on your players to soak shots, and you better have a good goaltender.
That's where we put our focus last year on the PK is who's willing to soak a shot.
Yeah.
Right. Who's willing to eat one for the team. The guys that we had on there last year were phenomenal.
Bunch of dogs.
Willie Scott, Carter was phenomenal. Carter was quiet, but really great leader. Like he was part of our leadership group, but that guy would eat a shot every shift.
Love it too. Yep. It's the small things, right? I think Bellamy said it, stacking days on days or plays on plays, right? And the small things and just keep on stacking them up and
win your shift.
Win the shift.
That's what it's all about.
The game within the game.
You're not going to win. You're not going to you can't look ahead to the whole period. Win your shift. You just got to break it all down. It's the same as hockey drills, trying to create a system. You break it down, minute by minute, shift by shift, and you win it a little bit at a time. You just find a fighter.
I like it. Do you have anything crazy that you might bring out? Is there some sort of crazy system that's rarely used, or an old system that just hasn't been employed in a while that you might be able to bring out, or something that you're thinking?
I did try that last year. I tried running one PP unit as a 1-3-1, kind of like a hybrid umbrella.
Yeah.
And then I tried running the other unit as an overload, just to try to mess with the other team,
Mix it up
defensively. I'm not like, the overload is a start of a PP in my mind. Like when you're pushing down to get possession of the puck, you run the overload. Everyone runs the overload formation. Once you get possession of the puck, then you roll out into the 1-3-1, gives more opportunity, spreads them out a little bit, move the puck lots and quick.
Yep.
And then you get them standing still, right? Pull somebody out of position.
I'm excited. I'm excited to see it, man. I want to see it all play out. All right. In regards to this team, previous teams, parents often ask why. Why didn't my kid make the team? It's the politics, this and that. Have you ever had to have a hard conversation with a parent to help them understand why their kid wasn't selected, or do they kind of deal with your management team on that?
I think the first year that I worked with the U15s and made some cuts. I didn't explain anything. I didn't explain anything to the kid. It was kind of like, here's the process, here's the numbers, like here's the evaluation numbers, made it, cut, and kind of left it at that. And I definitely got some feedback from some parents.
Yeah.
That was while I was the technical director. The next year is when I started entering into exit interviews.
I like that.
Trying to give the kids, here's some of the positives I've seen. Here's some of the negatives. Here's what I think you need to work on.
That's good. They need to hear that.
Yeah. And really, like, I carried that on into the high school team, and I really haven't had any issues. That first year U15, though, I heard from some of the parents, and I should have.
Yeah.
Because there was no explanation for the kids. So they're like, they might have made a team last year, and then the next year they got cut. I mean, at the end of the day, you got to rely, when you're not the guy making the team and it's coming from evaluation numbers, you have to rely on the evaluation numbers.
Yeah.
And then it gets down to the nitty gritty. Like, you have the short list, and, somebody doesn't have a good tryout, or somebody else has a very good tryout, and you're cutting guys that, would be normally on the team. This year they didn't make it. I've seen that happen, but
I like that.
The kids come back stronger. I mean, it's humbling. Yeah, it's happened to me. It's happened to most guys that have tried it for elite teams.
Yep.
Or AAA, AA, whatever. It's happened to guys. It's all about what you do with them. Yeah. Make that coach regret not taking you.
I like that. Right? Brody DuPont. If you have a chance to listen to that interview, it's long, but it is really good. It's by far my favorite one yet. But he's been cut. He's been cut from things every time. It was the same mindset. He's like, I'm going to prove these people wrong, right? And he went back to his other league, or went back down to, the junior team or whatever, and he just turned himself into a dog. So anytime he had a chance to kind of come back up, he would earn a spot. He found himself in a position where he had no contract and was kind of told, oh, there's no contract for you here. He's like, in his mind, he's like, I don't believe that. He's like, I know there's a contract there. I'm just going to go prove it. Right. And he did. He went up there, and
you look at any of these guys that go up, go up from major, junior, or NCAA or wherever now, and they get cut from the NHL and they go down to say AHL. If you don't have the mindset that you're going to continue on that journey, you're toast.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think that's probably where I found myself. I got cut from McHugh, and I mean, I had, family wise, I had a lot of support. There was a lot of noise, a lot of negativity around me. People are just waiting for you to fail sometimes.
Yeah.
And it's hard to drown that noise out. So
why do you think there was so much noise in your journey? What was it about?
I don't know. Just, it happens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's like, not every mature older person hopes for the best for you, because maybe they're jealous. Maybe they don't like you.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they want to see you fail to prove what they think about you. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't the most word behaved in high school. So,
Okay.
you know,
A little bit of wild child in you.
yeah, a little bit of wild child. I mean, you know, when you set that up for yourself and you give people that idea of you, you know, maybe that's just where they're at and they let you know.
Yeah.
You know, they want to let you know. So you're trying to drown out the noise that maybe you cause, and it's tough sometimes. Like
For sure.
my family was really supportive, but I can definitely say there was people outside of my family that were waiting for me to fail.
Yeah.
Right.
So they're waiting for the "I told you so."
That's it.
Oh, or they wanted to prove
And honestly, like I probably just wasn't mature enough to mentally get past that.
Yeah.
I've always regretted it, but you can't go back. I use that coaching. Don't fail my boys. That's my goal is don't fail my boys.
Yep.
That's really at the end of the day, like make these guys love where they're at.
Yep.
Make them want to work hard. Not necessarily for me, but make them want to work hard for each other. Try to create a culture that they enjoy and grow. And
I love it. I love it. This is a good one. I think I know where you're going to go with this. If you could eliminate one misconception about high school hockey, what is it? You know what I mean?
you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. You go ahead.
It's not the end of your career.
Yeah.
It's not
the beer league.
It's not the beer league, and it's not comparable to the beer league. It's what you make it.
Yep.
I think like when I played on that Canada Games team, there was quite a few high school guys. I couldn't pick any that went on, but I mean, if we were going to stay locally here, I mean, there was guys like Darren Johnson, Mark Marshall, Robbie Brown that did very well. They used hockey to further themselves. You know, went to prep school, went to colleges. Mark had an opportunity to play in the AHL with the Flames.
Yeah. He got to sit on the bench, man. He had the helmet on. It's good.
Yeah. Coach was wondering who he was. He'll laugh at that. Yeah, we got some good stories from Mark over that one. It's just about what you want. Like, I mean, even our Canada Games team, before we went to Germany, we needed to find a team of the right caliber to play against. We picked the high school all-stars.
Yep.
They put an all-star team together, and they played against the New Brunswick Canada Games team. You know, and it was a good hockey. I think it was only a 5-3 game.
Yep.
Not because our Canada Games team was poor. We were playing against kids that were grade 10, 11, and 12, and they were all in grade 10.
Yeah.
Right. You're going to get out of it what you put in. That's the end of the day.
I like it.
That's it.
And there's still opportunity, right? Yeah. And we saw that this dog bowl right here. What a good event that the St. John Sea Dogs are running. It is well organized. That was fun to see that, and the lights and the atmosphere that they put together, and the fact that at the end, you know, the best player of the tournament or whatever gets a shot at the junior league, right? He gets to try it. You're working towards something still, and it's not just like, oh, I get nothing out of it, right?
One of these days, bring those kids is gonna.
I can't wait.
They're gonna get it. They're gonna make the cut, you know, and maybe go to the next round or maybe make the team. Who knows? It's tough because I think the politics that are happening in hockey right now is this route that you have to take to get, you know, ultimately, I guess, to the NHL.
Yeah.
There's this specific route you have to take.
Yeah.
I don't believe in that. I tell you, Randy Jones probably doesn't believe in that either. Yeah. I mean, he took some different routes to get to where he got to, you know.
It's very different now too with the all the rule changes up at at the higher levels, the NCAA. They just a longer runway. There's so many leagues now. It almost gets, it's hard to keep track of, honestly, with all the different prep school leagues and academy leagues and this, that, and the other. It's just
that came into
play almost when oversaturated.
It is, yeah. And that came into play when I was, you know, I spoke with my dad about, you know, should I look at writing these SATs or should I go up to major junior camp? You know, once you spend 48 hours in the major junior camp, you're in for 2 years.
Yeah.
I think it was 2 years anyway. If you wear their jersey in an exhibition game, you're out for 2 years before you can even attempt it. Right. And I don't know if I'd ever have the chance to go down and play NCAA. I'll never know now, but it was like A or B.
it was always foolish to me, right? That whole concept. It's better now. It just makes more sense now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, excellent. All right, Rob, let's jump into a few rapid fire things here. Just a couple of this or that. You don't have to think too much. Just kind of spit out the answer. We'll go from there. What's the most underrated leadership quality in a player?
I would say it would be things that they would say in the dressing room between periods. Maybe that's not underrated, but not everyone thinks of it. I think players like peers telling you that we got to get up, we got to work harder, we got to dial in, and that's a big part of the game.
The Connor McDavid after I don't know if they were losing in the series or whatever, and you
They
see
were
him,
losing.
yeah, he's losing, and he's in the locker room right here, right now. I loved it. I thought it was great. What's the hardest position in hockey to evaluate?
Well, for me, goalie. Yeah, I mean, that's an obvious one.
Luckily, we have Mark Marshall around here, right? At least, like he's played.
We've got quite a few guys around here actually that's very helpful.
Yeah.
Defensive positions are tough because there's different styles. So same with the forward positions. I would say forwards because there's so many things in play. Like, is this guy a power forward or is he a finesse player? It might be easy to pick out, but it's like, okay, how is this going to shuffle out that I can put a line together with the guys that I have? Now, defense, generally you have a stay at home or an offensive defense. Have a guy that can contain, or have a guy that doesn't let guys get out of the corner of his head. Andrew wins battle or cornerback, sorry.
Yep.
So I guess I'd say forwards.
Okay.
Be a tough position.
Who's a coach that really stands out to you? A coach that you admire?
Admire Gardner McDougall. I kind of model myself after Pat McLaughlin, who was my coach. And I also feel like I try to model myself after Bobby Holder, who was also a coach for Span AAA. And I mean,
so
maybe some of these guys are no names, to other people.
No,
they were a big part of my life.
That's in it, and it's good that you are now coaching you're a head coach of a program, and you still remember some of those lessons that those guys instilled in you 20 years ago, or whatever it is, right? Longer than that.
I wish.
Yeah. Cool. Who's your favorite NHL coach?
I really like what Martin St. Louis did this year. I gotta say,
you a Habs fan?
Nope. Don't. I used to be. I used to be a Habs fan. And then you moved out. Patty Waugh, I was hurt. I was done. I was hurt.
Yeah.
I was hurt. Yeah. I really like what Marty St. Louis did this year with that team. He took a team of young, small, fast guys. Yep. Created a team of Marty St. Louis is what it looked like. It looked like, the Tampa Bay team that beat Calgary out in the finals that year.
Yeah. They are good, and they signed a whole bunch of those guys back, and I'm like, all right, let's see what they can build.
Calgary's my team. I've been a Calgary fan since St. John Flames came to town. Marty St. Louis was on that team. When
you were living there, did you? Yeah, obviously you went to some games. Yep. Did you get a chance to see Jerome?
Sure did. Yeah, Jerome Ginla, Goudreau. We went and watched their practices, and
Iggy. I like Iggy.
Oh yeah, it's good, man. That guy's top notch.
What's the most important drill in practice for you?
I like Swedish circle drills.
I don't even know what that is.
That's just like, doing your drill around that big center circle.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen me do that drill. Like, we line everybody up on the corners or the dots in the blue line.
Yes, and everyone's flowing.
Quick snap pass, and everybody's flowing. I've got, three different ways of doing that drill.
Looks like a cardio type drill. A lot of movement.
It's a flow, fast pace. Gets the guys amped up usually.
Yep.
Keeps everything tight. And keeps like solid roots. But you can be creative at the same time.
What was the best piece of advice that you received as a player from a coach?
The puck doesn't care.
The puck doesn't care.
Puck doesn't care. Doesn't care how you feel before you start the game. Puck doesn't care, that you took a shot off the top of the foot the last shift. Puck don't care.
I like it.
And then the other would be hard work. Beats talent. Talent doesn't matter.
Some tactical takes right there from Rob Gamble. When your players leave your program, Hampton High School Huskies, and they graduate and they move on into their real life, what do you hope they remember about Coach Rob Gamble?
That I helped empower them, made them feel good about themselves, and maybe to have some
humility. I like that. I like that one a lot. Um, here's an opportunity, Rob, for you to speak directly to all those Hamptonites that are about to try out for your team. If there's one message that you want them to hear now on the tactical take as they prepare to step onto your ice, what is that message to them?
There are no names on any jerseys right now.
I love it. They got to go earn it.
Got to earn it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go.
Come out and support your high school team this year. And go support the Bulldogs and go support the U11 team. Like, go support your local teams. Go support football. Be a part of the community. You know, we're outside this community, and we try to be part of this community as much as possible. This is where my kids go to school.
Yep.
I want to know the kids that my kids hang out with. I want to know, you know, what they're doing. I want to know how they're doing in school. I want to know about them because, you know, at the end of the day, I was told this when I first moved to Calgary and I bought my first home at 21. I was told, you need to build your own community.
Okay.
So if, you know, you're the introvert type, that's fine and dandy. But get out in your community, get involved, get engaged,
do something. Give back to game. Give back to your community.
Give back and support the youth in this neighborhood because they're the next generation that's gonna be leading this town.
That being said, game 1, whenever that schedule comes out, everyone mark your calendars. Let's get up to that new Summit Center. Can we pack that barn?
Whiteout.
Yeah,
first home game.
We tried the whiteout last year and it was like semi-whiteout, right?
Semi-whiteout. I think it's going to take this year.
If you're listening out there, can we fill that whole arena to capacity and fully white it out? And let's put on a show. But all right, Rob, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate your time, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Excellent.